Hey everyone, before we get into cryptocurrency analysis, want to let you all know we have a new free course. Posted about this on social media, but in case you missed it, I'll put a link in the description of this video. But it's a free introduction to technical analysis course, fairly in-depth, goes over a lot of the basics. If you are familiar with trading, you've been trading for a couple of years, there's probably only going to be a few tidbits in there that are useful to you, but this is designed for people who are just getting their foot in the door, or potentially for people that are skeptical of technical analysis and helping to break it down into a more understandable way as to how it is useful. So check that out. No credit card, no nothing. Just sign up and take the free course. So we'll look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, LTC, XRP, and BNB. First things first, Bitcoin. We've been watching the pattern on the daily time frame of a high or low every single day. That was intact for 8 days, and that has now broken. So we broke the low of yesterday, which tells us daily consolidation is underway. And we certainly anticipate a daily higher low is going to form because the last higher low was down at $7,508. So anything above that level maintains the uptrend. We have the daily exponential 12-period support as a potential guide. If this consolidation continues into tomorrow, that will move up around 8,700 or so, and that will be a potential target. And again, until we lose the daily uptrend, the bulls are going to be looking to keep full control. We're in a market environment right now where I've been observing, as you know, I'm a stock trader, I've been observing what the market has done in terms of response to Facebook and its new cryptocurrency. And it's responding really well. And also the response of MoneyGram, I think that's the name of it, where I know the ticker is better than the names of the companies, but XRP's investment there is also seeing a very significant response, at least initially. So let's just look at Facebook real quick. It was announced after hours here on June 13th, and the price ran 10% in 3 days. And you might say, wow, big deal, 10% in 3 days. But in the stock world, when you're talking market caps in billions of dollars, that's a very huge move. And it ended up being a sell the news event as we anticipated, a 3-gap up bearish reversal pattern, but enough of stocks. Just wanted to point out that that is certainly something to be keeping an eye on. And again, I keep getting these news flashes about cryptocurrency, and I'm liking the fact that the headlines of these news articles are not talking about digital currency, they're talking about cryptocurrency. And why I like that is because anybody that jumps on Google and types cryptocurrency, they're going to learn about Bitcoin. And again, I think this exposure is beneficial for the space as a whole. So we're going to look for Bitcoin to form a healthy higher low. The 4-hour uptrend not really broken just yet. You could make the argument that we lost the higher low when this level of 91.05 broke, but that was also just a bear rejection and a very quick push down. The most important level for me is this level right here of 88.10, because if we hold that level, you could put it on a lot of different time frames where the uptrend would still be intact. And let's look at the 12-hour chart, which we looked at last video. So 12-hour chart's a potential bull flag, still holding exponential support there. The bottom line is we're clearly consolidating on some of the shorter-term time frames, but there's no red flags whatsoever on this consolidation, and bulls can potentially be looking to buy these dips. The hourly RSI did drop down right at oversold. Some bulls are defending that and buying that oversold condition. And as we know, the first time we hit some oversold conditions after a big bull move, we look for bounces. The 5-minute oversold bounce took place, and now the hourly oversold bounce is attempting to take place. And we'll see a 4-hour trend change back to the bulls with a higher low and higher high, and our daily consolidation will be finished, and it could be a bull flag. So the next 2 days, we're going to see, is it a bull flag? Pretty much, I would say if we hold the 12-period exponential support on the daily, a bull flag on the daily remains a possibility. If we lose that level, then a bit more prolonged consolidation will be coming. So with the alert system at alerts.chartguys.com, with the free week trial, I've been pointing out oversold climaxes, and that's just because that's my favorite play. I love oversold bounces, but there is certainly useful information in alerts that are not just for oversold bounces, and we can use the opposite. So overextended climaxes signaling temporary tops. So here was the 4-hour oversold climax that went out at 75.32, and that was pretty much one of the best times to buy Bitcoin in the last few weeks, as we did nothing but rocket up from that point. But we started seeing the 4-hour chart getting a little bit extended, and these overbought indications let us know when we were slowing down. We saw the big bull move, the overbought signal went off on the 4-hour time frame, and we then consolidated sideways for 12 hours. And then it happened again on the next leg up, and we pulled back for the next 16 hours. So not only are we looking at volume climaxes at the bottom, but these volume signals This one is taking price action and volume into account, but it tells us when things are overextended, and why that volume is such a good signal is because, again, it's the absolute maximum amount a bull push up. The bulls give it everything they have in a short-term period of time, and then the bears start piling in as well. And when both of those forces combine at the same time, that's when we get really high volume, and that's what helps us trigger bottom volume climaxes and top volume climaxes. So just a couple examples of Bitcoin, and it could be a guide to when to start scaling out and taking some profit, knowing that consolidation, at least in the short term, is likely coming in the near-term future. So Ethereum, I'm currently still in an Ethereum position, and my stop loss was under 263.02, and this is an example of where I, as a trader sitting at my computer, take control of things, and I removed my stop loss here. If I were away from the computer, I would have left it and I would have been stopped out. Why did I pull my stop loss? Because I looked at the shorter term time frames as we headed to my stop level, and I said to myself, we're going to hit Bitcoin's first hourly oversold conditions here very shortly. I expect the bulls to buy that dip. I don't think we're going to see a ton of follow through on this break of Ethereum from that support level. So knowing that both the 15-minute and the hourly RSI were lining up to be oversold on my stop level triggering is the reason that I pulled that stop. Now we'll see, maybe I'm going to have to exit a little bit lower and it will be a poor decision. I'm comfortable in the trade knowing that my break even is down at about 253 or so, but we need to see a bull move over the exponential resistances on the hourly time frame for it to be a good decision that I removed that stop. But the bottom line is I'm here and I'm in control, and I'm very closely monitoring this trade. So I will keep my stop losses concrete, set in stone if I'm not at the computer, but because I'm here and in a lot more control, I'm going to override that automatic trade signal. So ETH BTC, let's go to the daily for ETH. Daily consolidation is underway here as well, and we're looking at the last daily high or low of 252.42. And it's a bit different than Bitcoin because Bitcoin did not consolidate on the way up here at all, whereas Ethereum did. It did a little stutter step and then continuation, and we also didn't break resistance of 288.77. So that's notable as well. The weekly time frame for Ethereum, we have our high, low of the pullback, and we failed at continuation. So we've essentially been trading within this same range for the last 5 weeks, and we may stay within this range a bit longer because of that rejection. And again, if we do see RSI levels cool off on the hourly and then head back down, I will exit my trade and lock in that small amount of profit. So ETH BTC is continuing to pull back and continuing to keep the bears in control. The weekly time frame had a 1 week bull move and has now been fading for 5 weeks. So again, ETH was not the correct decision while I was away for the weekend to be looking to get into. Bitcoin performed better, but that was a gamble I was willing to take as far as looking for the potential of this weekly bull break. So now where we stand, I'm probably not going to be looking to play ETH anytime soon. I highlighted it in the last video, and if you go back and watch the last video, that Litecoin trade that I highlighted pretty much played out perfectly, and I missed it. And I missed it because I was trading stocks and busy doing other things, and I currently have more capital in play with stocks, so they have more importance for me. But the play we were looking for on Litecoin was an equilibrium and a daily high or low with a visual guide of looking at the exponential support to be an entry point. And we bounced beautifully off of that. And we had the hourly RSI get right down, right at oversold, and then we formed a higher low and changed the hourly trend. And right when that was happening, we saw a spike on LTC BTC. So I highlighted in the video yesterday or 2 days ago that we needed to change the 4-hour trend. That didn't happen, but we saw a significant bull move on the LTC BTC chart that allowed for Litecoin from that daily exponential support. We saw a big time move of 6% in just about 8 hours or so. So congrats to the bulls that established that trade game plan. The only thing that I did wrong was didn't scale in my orders. I should have had an order at 131, 130, 129, 128, scaling in, playing off of 125.60 support and off of the daily exponential support. So still certainly paying attention to Litecoin. Best case scenario for the Litecoin bulls is change this 4-hour trend. Anything under 15.3 on LTC BTC is just a 4-hour lower high. But if we stay consolidating in the tightening range on LTC USD and we see a 4-hour trend change on LTC BTC and then we break bull on the daily time frame for Litecoin, we're going to be looking up into the 150s if that were to play out. So the risk to reward scenario, pretty favorable as long as the Bitcoin bulls keep their daily uptrend for Litecoin to potentially see continuation to higher highs here. So Litecoin, I shift my attention. Litecoin certainly has my attention more than Ethereum at this point. And we'll see if I can get another entry opportunity now that my last game plan passed me by without me. XRP USD. So we had a bullish reaction to that news initially, but clearly profit taking into that and just a lower high. 478 is resistance, 474 is resistance, and now 463 is resistance as well. Just clear daily lower highs. Again, condensing this chart to the 2-day time frame makes it a little bit more clear, and we have an equilibrium. And this equilibrium can potentially play out for another couple of weeks, but really the gains were to be had in the stock market in this deal and not with XRP. High, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, and we're looking for a higher low compared to 3699, and for this range to continue to tighten up for at least a week, I would say. So for XRP, again, going back on the theme of volume indicating consolidation is likely coming, this is XRP USD on Bitfinex on the hourly time frame, and these black arrows are when the signals went out for abnormal volume. So the bull move triggering abnormal volume tells us that's the last push by the bulls. The bears are jumping in, and we get a climax of volume that led here to 45 minutes of a pullback. We saw another one went off, and then it led to multiple hours of a pullback. So again, just want to highlight, not only are we looking at these climaxes to signal bottoms, but they're climaxes to signal when we should be looking to take profit, or potentially if we're looking bearish, these volume climaxes can give us some signals on when the bulls are using up the last of their momentum to get that last bit of a push up. Binance on the daily time frame. Last video, I knew we hit a higher high here. Last video, I had the wrong chart up. I was charting Binance estimated by TradingView as opposed to Binance USDT on Binance. So right now I'm watching a tightening range, and if we look at it, again, just shifting around time frames for where it's most clear. And I'm still going to stick with the daily here. So I'm looking at the high, low of the pullback. Anything under 36.37 is a lower high. And then we would look for a pullback and a higher low compared to 29.81. So a tightening range is forming on the daily chart for Binance. We may need another daily higher low before we try that all-time high. But with where these charts are currently positioned, Binance, Bitcoin, and Litecoin all positioned fairly well. Ripple has that very clear resistance level that we're currently rejecting from with those lower highs and staying in that tightening 2-day chart pattern. And again, Ethereum just fading down. Ethereum compared to Bitcoin day after day the last few days and not really doing a whole lot for the bulls. So Litecoin has my utmost attention here for the next couple days while we're in this daily equilibrium. And we're looking for Bitcoin to give us a healthy daily high or low. Again, one more time, ideal scenario would be Bitcoin with a daily bull flag. Very brief, healthy consolidation for 2 or 3 days at most. Litecoin stays tightening up in its daily pattern. Litecoin BTC chart changes the 4-hour trend when LTC USD breaks bullish, when Bitcoin tries to confirm its daily bull flag. If all 3 of those things happen within the next 2-3 days, the Litecoin bulls are going to be looking up over 150. Red flags, of course, would be high bear volume, losing daily. If we broke Litecoin daily support, we would certainly throw this trade out the window and we would wait for weekly consolidation. 125.60 has to hold at this point. And again, we want to ensure that Bitcoin is not seeing significant pullback, but we have that guide of the daily 12-period exponential support. So overall, no red flags for the bulls, healthy consolidation out there, and we'll see if that continues. I appreciate you watching. Continue to do good things out there. Check out the free course on our website. Check out the free trial of the alert system. Check out the sun outside. It's nice. And let's look at some trees.